Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Odinachi Sleep Temple, a place to learn, unlearn, and relearn. This is your safe mobile temple. My name is Pamela. So today I have a message from Mercury Retrograde. So if you're watching this now, today is July 18th, 2025. I was about to say 2026. I think a part of me is in the future. But if you're watching this now, during this Mercury retrograde, or even if you're watching it 10 years down the road and it's not Mercury retrograde, this message will hit a spot. So the first card that came out is the World card, which also came out in my reading yesterday. There's a way I read the cards. I don't really read the cards like other tarot readers. But this World card, what it's telling me is union, unity of everything. Because in the original Rider-Waite deck, like I said yesterday in my reading, it has all the four elements in the card, all the cardinal points in the card, right? It's uniting within, right? The blue in the World card um, makes me think of water, emotions, the subconscious mind. And it's impossible to be successful in every area of your life if you don't unite within, if you don't unite the conscious and the subconscious mind. So the message from Mercury retrograde or during this season is to rest. Retrograde season is a time to rest, a time to go within. There's a reason why during retrograde season, Mercury retrograde, they say that past exes come back, past things resurface. The reason why it's resurfacing is because that energy is still stored in your subconscious mind. And Mercury is the god of the mind. People don't know this. That is why Gemini is said to be of twins, right? The twins is the masculine and the feminine, the conscious and the subconscious mind. And past things come up to the surface during Mercury retrograde because it wants us to heal it and integrate it so that we become whole, right? When I was meditating before I started recording this, I heard the world is yours if you can have the audacity to reunite with all the polarities within, right? The Hermit card came out, and the Hermit card is all about going within, resting, meditating, right? Meditating, contemplating, asking yourself, what is holding me back? Because you are tired of playing small. You are tired of being hurt. Okay, your ego, it has been fighting with your higher self, with your chi. And it's time to quieten that ego and let your higher self lead you. Because when you unite within and allow your higher self lead you, the world becomes your oyster. For some reason, I'm taken back to the story of Jonah in the Bible. It's so funny how when I was a Christian, I barely understood the Bible or read the Bible, but now that I've stepped away from rigid tradition, speaking about rigid tradition, the Hierophants. Oh, spirits, I see what you did there. Thank you. The Hierophants has to do with traditions, the teacher, being rigid. Okay, this card is ruled by Taurus. I'm a Taurus. And we can be very rigid. very stuck in our ways. So, what can you do to get unstuck? Okay, maybe it's time to walk away from the things you've heard about yourself as a child, or what, institutions of tradition has taught you. Maybe deep down you don't agree with the traditions, but you're doing it because you are afraid to walk away from the tribe. But it only takes one person to have the audacity to walk away. And it could be painful at first, but later the tribe will follow the leader because you are a leader, the magician card. You are. Before I pulled this card, at first I pulled the temperance. And when I was looking at the temperance, because the temperance is all about alchemy, merging two polarities, bringing things together. It's all about balance, it's all about harmony. And when you do this mixture, this alchemy, change happens. And I was like, ooh, the alchemists. People watching this are the alchemists. And as I said it, I shuffled and the magician card came out. And the magician card is number one. And you can see the yellow color, which has to do with the sun. Okay. The magician is united with cosmic energies. It has the pentacles, the cup, the sword, and the wand, which represents the four cardinal points, which also represents, interesting, which also represents the four elements in down here on earth. But the magician is holding a stick, a staff of authority. And my spirit is saying you have the authority ascending from the ethers and it's anchored in your soul. But to get to this point, you have to heal. You have the power to command the elements and it will listen to you. You are connected to high spirits of light and love. But the only way to get to that point is to heal the polarities within, doing your shadow work. Mercury is the god of communication. But right now, oof, thank you, spirits. Right now, it's not all about outward communication, but inward communication. Communicating with your shadow, communicating with the spirit within. Because when you communicate with your shadows and bring it up to the surface and integrate with the shadow, you have better access to receiving ideas from your higher self. Most of you listening to these videos are geniuses, powerful creators, master numbers. I'm getting master 11. I'm also getting 33. All the master numbers, 22, my spirit just said. Most of you have been sent to this world to spread the gospel of consciousness, but the Hierophant card, tradition, organized institution, society, and its rules has stopped you. And it's time to break from those rules and become the alchemist you're destined to be. Okay. Spirit keeps bringing the story of Jonah back to me. And in the Bible, Jonah was sent to Nineveh to spread the gospel and to, share some news. And he didn't want to do it. And a whale swallowed him. The whale swallowing him, the Bible is not supposed to be read literally, it's an allegory. Okay. So Jonah got the call. It's like the hero's journey of Joseph Campbell. Jonah got the call and he was unsure of himself, which is the ego. The ego is always unsure, forgetting that the spirit that gave you that call has all the answers and you are just the conduit. And um, Jonah stayed in the belly of the whale, I believe, for 3 days. Let me make sure I'm correct. I told you I wasn't really a Bible scholar, but now I understand the Bible because before, when I was a Christian, I was reading the Bible, but I was reading it literally. I was reading it literally, but the Bible is symbolic. Yes. So, hmm, interesting. This is interesting. I just realized something. Jonah stayed in the belly of the whale. It is not a coincidence that he stayed in the belly of a sea creature because the sea is the subconscious, symbolic of the subconscious mind. The belly of the whale is the dark night of the soul, the period of the dark night of the soul after you get the call, but the ego is fighting with the higher self because it doesn't want to do it. And then he was there for 3 days and 3 nights, which adds up to six. But three is the number of unity, unifying the mind and the body and the spirit and the soul, the mind, body, and soul. And when you reunite all these things together, it then taps into cosmic energies and becomes one with spirit. And then you can go, and then Jonah was able to step out and go spread this news. I'm hearing fame for a lot of you guys. I'm hearing unicorn businesses in the business world. When they say a unicorn business, is a business that is breaking all the standards, and people thought that they would not make it, but they did. I'm hearing the rise of the underdog. I see you all climbing the ladder of success. I'm hearing frankincense. Maybe some of you are led to burn the frankincense incense to be able to go within and to meditate. I think starting next week, I'm going to start adding meditations and activations to my readings at the end to activate what we've received. Because it's one thing to listen to readers, but how do you activate what has been read? How do you connect? Because some of us don't know how to connect to our higher self. So subscribe to this channel because we have a lot of growth to do together. So yeah, the message of this retrograde is go within. If you follow Western astrology, tropical astrology, Mercury retrograde right now is happening in the sign of Leo. Leo is the sun shining. Leo is the sun shining bright. But if you follow Sidereal, which is the actual position of the planets and stars in the night sky, Mercury is in the sign of Cancer, which is the moon. And the way I've been combining both sidereal and tropical astrology is I see sidereal as your inner world, your true authentic self from the viewpoint of your higher self. And then tropical astrology is your outer world, right? Your outer world the ego self. There's nothing bad about the ego. But if you can align your inner world to your outer world, everything, you begin to have peace. So, Mercury retrograde is in Cancer. Cancer is a water sign ruled by the moon, which is all about contemplating, going within, facing your shadows, healing from the shadows. And then in tropical, it's in the sign of Leo, which is all about the sun shining bright, sharing what you have with the world, letting the world to see you, being bold, being audacious, right? So the greatest message Mercury has for you right now is heal the wound within during the season. Rest, contemplate, journal, right? What is holding me back? What is hidden in my shadow holding me back? And how can I show up as my authentic self? And when you start doing the healing, you start shining in your outer world as your true authentic self because you all are stars. You all have a gift to share with the world, and the world needs your vitamin. So, I was about to say that's all I have for you, but then the Wheel of Fortune came out. And yeah, the wheel of change is turning. When you can heal, the wheel will change. You would receive what you need to become super powerful. The world card also teaches us that life goes in cycles. People that think that life is linear, no, it goes in cycles. So just because you're down today doesn't mean you'll be down tomorrow. The wheel is changing in your favor. So that's all I have for you guys today. I'll talk to you guys some other time. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Take care.